That is the basically pinout diagram. This is the 40 pin IC. We are saying the 8085 having a 40 pin IC. Here you can say this is the 40 pin IC. So we have a one set 20 pin and 20 to 40 pins. You can see. So this 40 pin IC, we already discussed every IC. It's a 40 pin IC. Okay, so 20 pin should be on the right side and 20 pin should be on left side. Okay, this particular packaging is called dual inline packaging, dip packaging. 20 pin IC. If your IC is in this fashion, we are saying that is called the dip packaging, dip package. Dip means dual inline, means on both side you have a equal number of pins. This is called a dual inline packaging, dual inline package. Package is nothing but like, you know, when you are packing some kind of gift. So similarly packaging the outer size, outer architecture of your IC, on that basis we are saying the packaging. Similarly you have a quad flat packaging also. Quad flat packaging means, you know, when the IC leg is spreaded on the breadboard, that is basically the quad flat packaging. Dip line means you are inserting via through hole, that is called the quad flat and dual inline package. I can show you that what is a quad flat and what is dip packaging, so at least you can get the idea. Dip package IC, I can show you that image, so at least you can get the idea about it. Yeah, you can see this IC having a legs. This leg is basically inserted into the PCB via hole. That is called the dual inline packaging. Here in this IC you can see this leg is like, you know, flatted. That is called the quad flat packaging. So outer architecture of the IC, that is called basically packaging. So here to connect this IC you don't need to hole into the PCB. It can directly connect it. Here you have to hole into the PCB, that is called the dual inline packaging. So many kind of packaging is available in the market. This is also one kind of packaging. This pins, it's twisted inside it. This is also the some kind of packaging. So lots of packaging is available. This is also the packaging. Here you cannot see the leg. Okay, so lots of packagings available in the ICs. So here this is the dip packaging IC. So here we are discussing about the IC's detail. So first point in the IC, the most important part, the 5 volt. So of course every IC working on some DC voltage. So we have a VCC where you are supplying a positive voltage, and that is a 5 volt, and we having a ground. So ground is basically you are supplying a 0. So when you are connecting a 2 wire, if usually you are looking the electricity at your home, so you have a 2 wire plus and minus, positive and negative. So that is basically VCC and ground. So every IC also required a 2 wires VCC and ground. Here you can see in this particular diagram 40 number pins is dedicated for the VCC, means you have to connect the 5 volt, and this 20 number, this 20 number, basically this one 20 number, this is VSS means also ground. Okay, so this 20 and 40, usually every IC which is 40 pin IC, 20 and 40 should be ground and VCC. So once you connected this thing, internal of this IC you have a multiple component, that all component will be activated. Activated means it's started working. If you are not giving supply, on that condition nothing will work, this IC is dead. Okay, so that is the purpose of the DC supply. Now we are moving towards a very important part, that is X1, pin number 1 and pin number 2. Now I am telling you what is the meaning of this. We said it now, we have to supply a 3 megahertz clock, 3 megahertz frequency. So frequency is nothing but we are saying clock. Clock means we are providing some kind of a square wave. Actually in processor we are giving only digital signal. Square is also the digital signal. And what is the frequency of a square wave? That is a 3 megahertz. So the X1 and X2, pin number 1 and pin number 2, your crystal means which generate the frequency, it's connected on this particular pin. So once you are giving a frequency to the processor, so every program inside the processor will executed on this particular rate. So this is a very important factor of the processor or any controller IC. Without this no processor and controller will work. Okay, so these are the two important factors. Now next and very important part of the processor is basically we are moving to the reset pin. Where is the reset pin? Can you tell me? This is reset pin. This pin number 36 is called the reset pin. Okay, and this is reset out. I am telling you what is the meaning of reset in and reset out. This is reset in is an active low signal. Active low means if you are giving 1, it will be considered as a 0. If it will be 0, it will consider as a 1. This is called active low. So 36 number pin is a reset in. I am telling you what is the meaning of reset in. Anybody can tell me as a programmer what is the role of reset pin, reset in? 36 number pin and third number pin is reset out. Anybody can tell me what is reset in? For active low, I'm writing a slash signal. Anybody tell me what is the meaning of reset in? What is the role of reset? Yes? Anybody can give me example for that? What is the use of reset? Everybody using in their own daily life reset button.
रीसेट में मतलब डेटा को वापस जीरो कर देना एक तरह से क्या?
Yeah, you are starting your, whatever laptop you are using, your mobile you are using, that having a some default programming. That's why as a user, when we are doing giving some input, we are getting output. But at some point of time, your things is hang. It's not taking input. It's hang somewhere else. So what do we prefer? You just put a reset button of your system. So your hardware is reset on the default position. So whatever bug or whatever thing will be there, or maybe it is stuck in some kind of loop. So you just put a reset. Now your system taking your input. That is basically reset. So reset in is nothing but a same processor is processing the thing. So whenever your processor having some kind of issue, it will reset in. You just put a reset button. So assume it if you're writing some kind of loop, endless loop, and your program is stuck in the endless loop. Once it is stuck, it will not take any input because it's stuck in the loop. So on that condition, what will happen? You just put a reset button, so it will come out of the program. Okay, so that is basically the reset. So this is a very important part of the reset in. Reset in means it will reset the processor. We have another pin reset out means via processor we can reset another device. Assume it you have a laptop and inside the laptop you have a processor. Here you have a printer. Okay, you have a printer. So via laptop you wanted to reset the printer. Assume it you given a 36 pages print, but that is a wrong. This is the wrong print. All of a sudden you just given the wrong command because you don't wanted to print that 36 pages. Okay, so what you wanted to do? If you given the wrong command via laptop, you put a reset out. So this printer will be the reset. Once you reset, it will again come to the default position. So that is the purpose of reset out via the processor. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yeah, everybody, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now next thing we are moving. That next thing is a very important part, address and data bus. Here you can see AD, address and data. AD0, AD1, AD2, AD3, AD4, AD5, AD6, AD7. And here you can see AD11, AD12, AD13, AD14, AD15. Not AD. This is the only A. AD means address and data and A means only address. So I'm telling you what is the meaning of that. So you have a fourth pin. Fourth thing is address and data. So according to previous discussion, you have a 8 data pins. Means you have 8 data pins. 8 pins should be there and you have a 16 data pin. But here in this diagram you can see you have a total, this is the 8 pin, this is the 8 pin. You have only 16 pin for address and data. Okay, so AD means address and data is mixed or multiplex. So here you can see AD0 to AD7 is basically address and data bus. Address and data bus. So your 8 data bus here and 8 address bus are multiplex. Why multiplex? Because it will reduce the size of the IC. If you are providing a different pin, the size of this IC will be again increased. This length will be more than this. So they multiplex the two signal on one pin. That is called a multiplexing. We are saying a many into one. So if we multiplex two signal into one, so on that condition, the size of overall IC will be reduced. Okay. So here you can see address and data bus are multiplexed. Now you have a A8 to A15. This is only address bus, higher order address bus. So you have a this 8 address and 8. It becomes 16 and you have a only 8 data bus. So this is the data. Is it clear? This part is clear? Yeah, is it clear? Yeah, is there any doubt here?
No doubt, ma'am.
Okay, now the question comes in your mind. If you have a address and data on the same pin, you have a address and data on the same pin. So how the processor will understand ki right now this pins taken data or address? Are you getting my point? Assume it you have a this data FFH. This FFH is a 8-bit data. We can write this thing 81. So if you are giving this 81, so this 81 considers the address or data. How the processor will understand this thing? Because after understanding the thing, then processor can process. Without understanding, how the processor can process? Okay. So can you tell me how the processor will understand? These binary bits, whatever you are giving to the processor, either is address or data. How the processor will take the action for this? Anybody can give the explanation about it? Yes? Anybody can give the explanation about it? Yeah? Yeah, we discussed in the previous classes also. Not in this session, last session. Anybody can tell me how the processor will understand its address or data?
कोई एक्स्ट्रा इंडेक्सिंग होगी मतलब
Yeah, it's correct. This signal, this ALE, address latch enable, this 30 number pin. Here this 30 number pin is playing a very important role in context of this 30th number pin, that is the ALE, address latch enable. I'm telling you meaning of this pin. If ALE having 1, so processor understand कि this particular pins contain the address. If ALE is 0, it means it's contain the data. Is it clear? Is it clear? Now you understand the role of the pins. Is it clear? Yes? Yeah, is it clear? That part is clear. This is very important part. Usually they are asking about it. Is it clear? Yeah, anybody can please respond it. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Next thing is that we have a two signal, that is a read and write. That is considered as a control signal. So I'm telling you read and write. Read bar, I'm writing a slash because I don't have option to write it. Write bar. So basically read and write bar. Can you tell me what is the purpose of this signal in context of the processor? You have a processor and processor having this signal read or write. What is the role of the processor? What is the use of read and write signal in context of processor? You did certain programming in your lab also in that context. Yeah, anybody can give the example for this?
Ma'am, read or write the data.
Yeah, definitely. Basically, you have used this instruction in your programming LDA 2000H and you have used this STA 2000H. You have used this thing in your second or third lab. Anybody can tell me what kind of operation in this instruction? LDA, load accumulator, and STA, store accumulator. Yeah. Which kind of operation performing?
LDA reads the data from 2008 and STA
2000
writes
is
the
the memory. So
data.
it means this read and write is used in context of the memory. Okay, so if processor generating the read signals towards the memory means processor want to read the data. So if you're writing a LDA instruction, so what is happen? Processor reading the data from the memory. If you're writing STA, so processor writing the data onto the memory. Okay, so that is the meaning of that. So that is the role of RD and write bar signal. Okay, now the next signals we have that is status signal S1 and this one. This 29 and 33 signal is called the status signal. I'm telling you what is this. Status signal. Status signal. So basically status signal is nothing but a which will tell you actually processor performing the task in a certain steps. Certain steps is basically nothing but a it's a T state. I'm telling you actually processor performing a task in a various steps. So that steps basically differentiated by the status signal. Right now processor performing either memory read, either memory write, either IO read, either IO write. Actually processor having a clock, infinite clock. So that clock is nothing but a square wave. So on what instant processor performing what task, that is classified depending upon the S1 and S0. And S1 and S0 is nothing but a you have a truth table of the 2 bits 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So according to that you are getting a classification key. If you have a 0 0 processor performing this particular task, processor on this particular clock, so that is the role of the status signal which will tell the state of the clock. Okay, now the next thing here IO M bar. IO M bar is also the control signals, one type of control signals. IO M bar. IO means input and output, M is memory. Input and output, M is memory. So here if I will draw the diagram of processor, processor interface with the memory as well as processor connected with the IO. IO is nothing but like LED, switches, memory, normal memory. So either processor are reading or writing from the memory or either processor reading or writing from the IO. Here you can understand this thing. If I am copying the data from my pen drive or writing the data on pen drive, that is the memory. I can consider as this thing. If I am saying about the IO, IO can be like if with my laptop on the USB part, I am connecting any kind of input devices like a sensor which is taking the input from the ring and any kind of output device which is giving supply like for the laptop we have some kind of cable which giving a some kind of light to the laptop that is also the output devices. So this is the input and output devices. In general, we can say switch and LED is the input and output, and in memory, any hard disk, any pen drive, we can say that is a memory. Okay, so IO M bar pin will be tell you right now processor transferring the data on IO or memory. The status of this particular signal will indicate कि right now processor communicating with the memory or IO. That is basically called the IOM. So here two things are multiplexed. Okay. Now next thing we have a clock out. We have a clock out. Clock out means whatever clock is provided over here, if you wanted to check its process inside the processor or not, so we can check it while checking this particular pin. If we are connecting this particular pin via CRO, so if we are getting a square wave of 3 megahertz, we can check it this IC is working, because we don't know inside this IC we have a lakhs and crores of components, so we cannot understand is this IC working or not. Many times the IC is damaged and your program is correct, but we are stuck in key our program having the issue. Okay, so that is the role of the clock out. This is the hold and HLDA. Hold HLDA means hold acknowledgement. That is the hold. So hold and HLDA basically is nothing but this particular signal is basically using hold and acknowledgement. Basically, if you heard about the master and slave concept, if you have a microprocessor, two microprocessor, assume it you connected, assume it. So sometime this microprocessor become master, sometime this microprocessor become master. So if this is the master, it will be the slave. If this is the master, this will become the slave. So whoever will be the slave, that particular slave is taking some kind of action from the master. So assume it if this is the master, so all power on this particular processor and it's obey the order of the first processor. Okay, assume it if this slave become the master, so this particular process has to obey the order. So what is the role of hold and HLDA? So assume it if the microprocessor generate the hold signal, so on that particular condition what will happen, this processor transfer all the power to this processor, so this will just connected to hold means nothing can happen, so that condition is called the hold. And this processor also generating a HLDA signal which indicates other device ki right now processor is on the hold state, it cannot perform any kind of task, that is called the hold. Like you can understand this thing, assume it if you are in a restaurant and restaurant में आपका जो kitchen है, kitchen में cleaning task हो रहा है और no cooking food is there, so your kitchen is on the hold stage and kitchen के बाहर एक red light अगर उन्होंने blink कर दी, तो you understand कि you getting a signal कि right now red light है means this thing is the hold, nothing will happen. So in terms of processor same thing is happen. Is it clear what is the role of hold and HLDA? Is it clear? Yeah, anybody can please respond it. Is it clear what is the role of hold and HLDA? Yeah, anybody can please respond it. Yes. Is it clear? Am I audible? Yeah, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Next signal is we have a ready. We have a signal ready, SOD, SID. So first we are talking about the ready. Anybody can give the answer about it. What do you understand by the ready signal? If processor generate the ready signal, what do you understand by this? Yeah, what do you understand by this?
That processor is ready for executing any program.
Yeah, definitely. You know, processor is processing some kind of program inside the memory or inside the internally. So if processor processing some particular data and meanwhile you are giving another data, so on that condition processor is not ready to take the signal. Okay, similarly you can understand if I am doing some kind of in my mind already I am processing some data and all of a sudden other data also enter, so I'm not ready to take that data because right now I'm processing something else. So that is the meaning of ready. So if ready means if you just your previous data is processed, now your processor is ready to take the signal, that is called the ready. In context of printer, if I wanted to explain, right now printer having a 10 pages and printer executing these 10 pages, so after printing all the 10 pages printer will generate one signal, that is basically key printer is now available, that is basically ready, printer is ready to take the next signal. So that is the purpose of the ready, which indicate the device status. The ready pin use is basically which indicate the device status right now is available or not, that is the meaning of that. Okay, another example we can
Ma'am,
take. Yeah, yes,
uh,
yes.
ma'am,
Priyanshu, I
काम
cannot
तो
hear
मैम
you bacha.
होल्ड पिन भी यही काम कर रही
Hold
थी
and
ना
HLDA, yes Priyanshu, I'm just clearing your doubt. Hold and HLDA
अगर
basically,
प्रोसेस मैम मैम
yeah, wait a
होल्ड
minute.
वाली पिन भी तो यही काम कर रही थी
Yes, wait a minute. Hold and HLDA basically indicating when you are having a two devices which are using for the master and slave concept. Master and slave का meaning होता है if you know processor having a master capability via address and data pin, because by that you can take any data. So once this first processor in the hold state, it means this processor transfer all this address data bus power to this processor. That's why it become in the hold state. The condition of hold is this. Now I'm telling you about the ready stage. Ready stage means right now processor performing a internal things. Right now already processor having some program which is processing, and then you are giving again second program, so now processor is not ready to take second program. Are you getting my point? Is it clear?
यस मैम
Priyanshu?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So that is the meaning of hold and ready. Okay, now the next thing is we have a pin SOD and SID, serial output data, serial input data. See, as I told you, every processor and controller having a serial transmission. SOD, serial output data, SID, serial input data. So you know, serial transmission. So if you wanted to read the data from any ports, so it will become a serial input data, means because you are reading a serial transmission. If you wanted to write the data on any display screen, you will do the SOD. So SOD is basically you are serially transmitting the data and you are serially receiving the data. That is the meaning of your serial interface. So via 8085 you are able to perform the serial transmission also. And here AD0 to AD7, and this is basically parallel transmission. So you said it earlier na ki we have a serial transmission. So 8-bit data means this is your 8 data pins, 0 to 8. So here you are transferring all 8 signals via different wires. So this is the parallel transmission. That is a parallel, that's why it's fast. I hope somebody just given the answer about this. It should be clear. I think somewhere I just wrote it. Maybe who said this thing? Serial 8-bit data में somebody said it, serial or parallel. I hope that thing is clear. I forget the name of that student. Yeah, somebody said the 8-bit data is a serial. We said na we have a 8085 8-bit processor. So somebody said it. This 8-bit means serial. No, it's not serial. It's a parallel. Here you can see the answer for that because we have a 8-bit data bus. We have a 8 separate wire. So this 8-bit means you are transferring all the 8-bit via 8 wires. You can see you have a 8 pins. So it's possibility you can transfer all the data parallelly. This is the parallel transmission. This is. So somebody given the answer, I don't remember the name of the student. So somebody given the answer, so that is explanation of that. Now only these pins are left. These particular pins are left. I think you heard about the interrupt. Did you heard about the interrupt? What is interrupt? Anybody can tell me what is interrupt? What is interrupt?
A signal to stop program.
Yeah, a signal basically which can stop and start the program, or we can say a signal which is emitted by hardware or software, because we can give the interrupt via hardware, we can give the interrupt via program also. So that is hardware and software interrupt. We studied in the architecture also. So basically in 8085 we have a 5 interrupts. You can see that thing. Trap, we have a INTR, interrupt request, INTR. We have a RST 5.5, RST 6.5, RST 7.5. We have a this all interrupts. You can see RST means restart. Here you can see we have a trap, RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5, interrupt request INTR, or this is a interrupt acknowledgement. Once the interrupt will be there, your processor need to know key interrupts came or not. Like you can understand this thing. If somebody will ring your door, you can understand ki somebody will be there. So similarly for the processor, if these 5 signals comes in the picture, so this particular line indicate ki some interrupt will be there. It's an acknowledgement for the processor. That is a INTA pin. Okay, so this is the trap is the highest priority interrupt. We have a 5 interrupts. So right now if the processor having a multiple signals all together, so processor will decide which interrupt have to deal first depending upon the priority order. So by default every interrupt having their own priority, and processor follow that in that particular format. If you are not giving a default priority, as a programmer in a programming you can set the priority order also. Okay, so these are the interrupts. Now I'm moving over here. Anybody can tell me, is this hardware interrupt or software interrupt? Is this hardware interrupt or software interrupt? In this pinout diagram, this pin is available. You can tell me, is it hardware interrupt or software interrupt? Hardware means you are giving signal externally to this IC. Externally I am giving, like I am giving power supply to my laptop externally. है ना? And if my laptop is automatically reset without doing any kind of action internally, that's a software interrupt. So here these 5 interrupts are the hardware or software? Yeah, anybody can give the answer. These 5
हार्डवेयर
are,
शायद,
sorry,
हार्डवेयर.
hardware. Yeah, it's a hardware. You can see in a pinout you already getting a pins here, so you can directly give the signal here. And which kind of signal? It can be any square wave. So these are the 5 interrupts. Many times it happens, you are writing a means in your laptop right now internally lots of processes going on, but once you connected any pen drive, any other external device, so all of a sudden your laptop started processing on that. Assume it, I just connected one USB cable for charging my cell phone. So once I connected, you can see I connected this thing pop up, and my processing, whatever processing it's going on the background, but this thing is entertained. So this is called the interrupt. This is called the interrupt. I externally given the processor, and processor handle this thing. And many time if I connected USB but no pop-up is there, it means processor ignored this particular action. So that is called the least priority interrupt. Means it can be ignored. Okay, but in your laptop you find out ki if you having USB drive, if you connected anything, either CD, either USB, anything, all of a sudden some pop-up will comes in the picture. It's up to you. They given the action for the user ki you can ignore that thing if you don't want. Okay, so this is basically the hardware interrupt. According to that you can decide it. So these all over the pinout diagram about the 8085. So when we are working with any particular IC for a programming purpose, first important thing we have to understand the pinout diagram. But right now in your mind some kind of question will be there. We are working with any kind of hardware board, we are not looking for the pinout diagram too much. No, if you are working with the hardware board, you have to little bit know about the pinout diagram, because pin will decide ki if you are giving input, what output will takes in picture. Like assume it, if you wanted to blink the LED, so you need to understand ki on what pin LED will be connected, then you can switch on the LED. Switch on the LED means via programming you just give one signal. Assume it that pin number is S. So you have in the programming you have to write S equals to 1. 1 means 5 volt. Assume it if you connected any switch. So switch, I am just giving a definition of the switch is SW. SW. If I am writing SW equals to 1, I just given the condition. Is switch equals to 1, S equals to 1, matlab LED equals to 1. So I wrote this condition and this condition is executed on the corresponding output devices. So that's why it's very important. Okay. So this is for the today class. We having one more diagram. Can we discuss that thing? Yeah, can we discuss that diagram? We have one more diagram. Can we discuss? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So this diagram is basically the expansion of the same. Whatever pins it's available here, it's expansion of the same. Only for your understanding point of view, they just created. This is the address bus. You can see I said it ki you have a 16 address bus. So this is the higher order address bus. This arrow indicates this is the unidirectional. Unidirectional means data can flow only this direction. This is called the bidirectional arrow. Bidirectional means data can flow here also. Address and data. So your data bus is the bidirectional. Your address is unidirectional. Address can flow only one direction and data can be flow in both direction. We just put it this kind of arrow like this. So meaning of this broad arrow, it's having a multiple wires. Here you can see you have a 8 wires. Here you can see 8 wires. That's why we indicated in this kind of arrow. You can see this single arrow. You can see this single arrow indicate only one wire. If you're writing this kind of arrow, it indicate multiple wires. Okay. So this is the address and data bus. Here, this arrow direction showing where the signal will be flow. Either it's input to the processor or output to the processor. So here you can see this arrow going to outward. So it's going outside to the processor. It's going outside to the processor. It's indicating it's inside to the processor. So these are the input and this is the output. So only this is giving the input and output of the processor. And reset out, here you can understand I said it, it will reset others device. That's why this arrow is going outside, and reset in means it's resetting the processor. Here you can see this is the VCC, this is the ground, and this is your oscillator. Crystal means you are giving any frequency. This symbol is wrong, na? This symbol is wrong. I will tell you what is the correct symbol. This is not the crystal symbol. Crystal is a component which generate the frequency of 3 megahertz. So this symbol is wrong in this diagram, na? So please take care of that. This is wrong. The symbolic notification of the crystal is wrong here. Okay, I will tell you what is the correct signal. So we have all signals differentiated in different parts. This is called the control and status signal. Here you can see ALE, S0, S1, IOM bar, read bar, write bar. These are the control signals. Whatever action is taken by the processor is controlled by these control signals. This is the address and data bus, which is responsible to taking the data and address from outside the processor. These are the acknowledgement signal, means which will acknowledge the processor ki something happen related to this, like interrupt happen, hold happen. Okay, and these are the external initiated signal, means it can be interrupt. Externally you are providing these signals, and these are the serial IO ports. So all the signals which we discussed, it's classified in that particular part. So maybe if the offline mode will be conducted, so maybe in the exam they can ask, ki draw the pinout diagram of the 8085. That kind of question comes in your exam. Okay, so I think for today that is enough. If you have any doubt regarding this,